Hey guys, this is one of your hosts, Shapirian here, letting you know we did things a little bit differently this week. Long story short, we went so overboard on one of the subjects that we talked about that we ended up recording for almost twice as long as normal. As a result, we chopped this episode up to end it at sort of a conclusion point to one of the subjects, but then we are going to release a bonus segment at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, which covers the rest of the episode and gives you a fun little preview of what to expect next week on Headaches and Hot Takes. So yeah, don't be confused when the episode ends sort of suddenly here. It's just because we weren't really done recording. We weren't done filming. We weren't ready to be done yet. The conversation continued, but I tried to find a really good point to just stop it at, and then we continue it, and you'll see that on Wednesday. All right, I'll let you get to the episode. Thanks as always for listening. See you soon. Bye. Hello once again, and welcome back to Headaches and Hot Takes. I am Hearn's co-host, Shapirian. That is Shapirian's co-host, Hearn. Which is to say that I'm Shapirian, and that's Hearn.
Yeah, I think that'll do for today.
Yeah. Well, no, don't worry, because I'm just getting started.
Okay.
Because Hearn is not your only name, in case this is your first time here. You are also the man who discovered the world's first Alaskan bullworm. You're a 4-time West Virginia clarinet blue ribbon winner, and a proponent of using his imagination. The Herniator. Yeah. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Phil?
How you doing, man?
Nice foreshadowing there.
I don't know what that means, so shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. When I was in the sun earlier, I had one shadow. So I don't know what you're getting at. I do not have 4 shadows.
That's so stupid. This is so stupid. Did you just come up with that?
Yes. Obviously, I didn't know you were going to say foreshadow.
No, I meant like, have you ever heard?
Well, I said I didn't know what it meant. I was like,
foreshadow?
what could I have thought that meant if not that? I was like, maybe I took it literally. And I thought all of that in the process of like a second.
You widowy took me widowy.
I widowy took you quite widowy.
You heard it here first.
Bottle water. B-O apostrophe O-O-W-O-O apostrophe O.
Is that video where that woman is...
Water.
She's reading like... in British accents, like British people be like, and all the things. British people be like, Peter Parker. But they're all like typed, like, you know, they are spelled that way. Peter Parker.
P-E-E-T-A-H. P-A-H-K-A-H. Peter Parker.
It was something about like PlayStation 5s were being stolen in Britain. And it was like, oi, them blokes are stealing a bunch of Play Trolley 5s.
Play Trolley 5s.
What are you doing?
Type in something. I need to get my facts right for what I was about to say. Oh, yeah.
Get your facts straight.
I'm good. I got it. It's from my hot take.
Yeah, I'm straight. Okay. That's important.
Well, you decided to stop the podcast. If you'd have just kept talking, you would have been fine, and my keyboard clicks could have just not been included. But no, now we had to stop and pick back up. Very nice. Very nice. Hearn, buddy, I believe you told me that for at least a few seconds in the beginning of this podcast, I've got to shut my freaking mouth.
No, actually, this would be... You will need to open your mouth wide open. But the pants on the ground.
Not gonna do that.
Are you ready, pal? You didn't see this coming.
I didn't see this coming.
I got a pop quiz for you.
No, you don't. Again,
and there
bro?
are... It's 3 questions. 3 questions.
I usually have time to study before I fail.
It's a pop quiz. There are correct answers here. Okay. I will repeat the question should you ask me.
Thanks.
But it's just we've talked about you being great at trivia night before. This is just some random trivia. Okay. And I'm curious to see how you do.
For what it's worth, before we get started and I make a total fool of myself, it's always other people being like, you should go to trivia night. I'm like, I promise the knowledge I have is the most useless, bro.
I think this will be good. Are you prepared?
Yes, I just hope you don't ask me what I think you're going to ask me.
There's literally no way you will see this coming.
Okay. Sweet. Right. I'm
ready,
bro.
First question.
Okay.
What is the average car? 106, 32.4, 43, or 0.2?
What is the average car?
What is the average car?
Can you read that? Can you repeat the answers? I need
106.
I need to know.
106. 32. Oh my God. Is this that serious?
106.
106.
32.
32.4.
0.4.
43. Or 0.2.
What is the average car?
What is the average car?
So, I'll go
Box
a little
thinking,
Who Wants
buddy.
to Be a Millionaire on here. Kind of to give my thought process. At first, my eyes want to go to 32.4, but it's not for the reason that I thought it was going to be. And that's because I was like, C is the third letter of the alphabet. Those are the 3. A is the first letter of the alphabet. You have 2, not 1. And R is the 18th letter of the alphabet. So I really don't know. What is the average car? 106, I can't think of any average. 32.4. I'm going to just mark out 0.2 here.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Interesting.
That's gone. Could be wrong.
Okay.
And I also want to get rid of 43. My eye just keeps going towards 32.4, but I have no reasoning behind it at all. None.
Hey, sometimes you got to go with your gut.
Let's go for it. 32.4, final answer.
All right.
And please explain what the
Interesting.
frick you're talking about.
That's interesting. That's an interesting answer.
You not
Question
tell me if
2.
I was right or wrong yet? Oh my god.
Question 2. Are you ready?
I guess. I gotta type out the answers, apparently. They're freaking weird.
You got to place yourself in the scenario, okay?
These are logic questions. These aren't trivia questions, by the way.
But trivia, logic, it's a pop quiz. I thought it was a pop quiz.
That's okay. Okay.
Okay, so you got to place yourself in this situation, okay?
I'm ready. I'm there. I don't know where.
You have turned left, right at the end of a lane from where you left. Right before reversing into a space, left to the left hand of the right hand lane. It is right to turn left, but you also have the right to reserve your judgment. Which is the right option that you are left with? Is it A, turn left, B, turn right, C, do not turn left, or D, do not turn right? You have turned left. Right.
No human was comprehending that question just auditorially. Is that even a word? No, it's not.
You have turned. It's
Through the
simple.
audio.
You have.
It's
Listen.
not!
Pay attention. You have turned left.
I
right
was,
at the
and
end
I
of
was
the
like,
lane
that's
where
gonna be
you
one of
left.
those, where are
Right
you from
before
where you were? I was
reversing
like,
into a
left
space,
and
left
left.
to the left hand of the right hand
No,
lane.
I'm not even
It is
listening when you
right to
started
turn
that
left,
question.
but you also have
Stop.
the right to reserve your judgment. Which
It
is the
is
right
right
option
to
that you're
turn
left
left.
with.
So I'm going to say turn left.
Option A, turn left.
You said it is right to turn left, and I'm not even going to bother dealing with on the
Or
left,
is
left,
that saying
left.
it's right to turn left, meaning left is right? Which
I didn't
right?
take it that way.
Well, maybe that's how it's meant.
It is right to turn left. Can never
mean-
make sense in any actual term.
That's how.
Also, the question
that's
makes
algebra,
zero
bro.
sense.
That's algebra. It is X to Y. It's telling you what equals what.
Oh, okay. Then reread the question.
You have turned left, right at the end of a lane from where you left.
Right.
Right
at the end of
before
the lane.
reversing into a space left to the left hand of the right hand lane. It is right to turn left, but you have the right to reserve
What
your
part
judgment,
of
which
the
is the
internet
right
did you
option
find
that you're
this
left
bullcrap?
with. Turn left, turn right. Do not turn left or do not turn right.
I'm just going to go back to what I said. I'm not thinking this through, especially since I'm such a freaking visual person, and I don't have the question in front of me. I'm not comprehending the question. This is a stupid question. I'm saying turn left because it is right to turn left. I'm like, okay, then it's turn left.
All right, then lock it in.
Locked in.
All right, very nice. Question 3.
Oh, can't wait.
When coming off an A road onto a B road, you should be A, beyond the speed limit, B, accelerating but decrease your speed, C, be aware of your speed, or decrease before A, change of road. When
It
coming
is
off an A
always true
road
to
onto
say
a B
you
road,
should be aware of your speed. That is always true in any circumstance.
you should C, be aware of your speed.
C, B, A.
B, A, C.
See, like,
B,
are these spelled
aware.
funny? Is it the letter B, the letter A?
It's intuition, pal. Get
This
on
is
it.
garbage is what this is. Reread those freaking answers. No normal humans comprehending that weird question and all of those answers without in front of their face. Before.
You have said, put yourself in. Okay, can you imagine you're on the road and you're merging? That's all I'm doing. And you can't do it back?
I'm on the road and you're merging. It's a situation you've been in.
I'm saying you're coming off of A road onto B road.
That makes total sense.
From one road
and
to
then
another.
You're like,
okay.
Well, it's the letter B. It's not the word B. Be aware of your speed. What?
You should be A, B on the speed limit.
A, B on the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
B, that makes no sense.
Accelerating, but decrease your speed. C, be aware of your speed. Or decrease your speed before A, change your road.
I'm just going to die on the hill that I promise you these are intended to be in front of me as I'm reading these questions. I'm not supposed to hear these questions and make sense of your freaking answers here.
What if I told you where I found this? It was absolutely an auditory test.
On TikTok?
Wherever I found it. I found it on my phone somewhere. It's an auditory test.
Well, okay. That's terrible then. It shouldn't be.
Other people didn't take this much time.
I still have not comprehended any answer except for be aware of your speed. So go for that. Whatever.
Okay.
You got I couldn't tell you what any of the other answers are.
You got all of them wrong.
I guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah. You want any of the right answers?
Not really.
Do you sincerely think there are right answers to these questions? Do you think this is one of those idiot test things where it's like in the question was the answer the whole time? You think? You
said there are correct answers to these questions, and then you gave me answers. Gave me
absolutely no right answers.
So I'm like, what is this? God, got me all pissed off for no reason, bro. Nothing pisses me off more than I'm like, you know something that I don't, and you're trying to make me feel stupid about it, which is not really what you did. Well, it's not really what you did.
I figured if I led with, like, just answer these the best you can, there may or may not be a right answer, you'd be like, this is stupid, and you wouldn't want to play. So I had to make you believe that there's something to achieve for because you are a pretty competitive person. I knew if I told you, hey, there are right answers here. You can win
because
this.
Because you told me that, I'm like, whatever, bro. Mm-hmm. I guess. What is an average car? And you got numbers. I'm like, these numbers must correlate with something. I don't know what.
What is the average car?
I'm like, 32.4. We've ramped up the amount of like cars we make per year over year. Like every year we make more cars than the last. So maybe the average car of all time is currently 32.4 years old. That's how I think because I've got problems. So, see?
What a great problem solver you are.
Apparently not. I got them all wrong.
I wish I could have came up with some BS reason as to why 106 was right. But that was believable, but I don't think you could come up with a believable answer to these. So
I told you, I was like 32.4. I just gave you rationale. I was like, yeah, that could be right.
Yeah.
But that's so interesting. Where did you find this crap?
I saw this. It was a TikTok, and it was making fun of apparently driving tests in the UK are so stupid, apparently. So the caption literally was the average UK driving exam. And it was people sitting in front of a computer, and it would read off auditory the question. They didn't see the question; it would just read it, and then the answers would pop up on the screen. But it just kept on cutting, and people would just be like just like trying to mentally not break while the questions were being read.
Dude,
and for some reason, dude, the way it said when coming off an A road onto a B road, you should be aware of your speed. I lost it. The all the letters.
I was like, wait a minute. Did he mean to put the emphasis on the letters there? I'm like, what are you doing? God,
that's exactly how I read it.
Got me all acting up on here.
Yeah, made me active.
For about at least a minute or two, I felt like the dumbest person on the planet, man. So well done.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we had one of those. We had to throw that in. Nice. What is that? Oh, what's your sweatshirt?
That's Goku. That's Beerus. That's Frieza. That's Goku Black, Super Saiyan Rose, and that's Jiren.
It's Dragon Ball.
The show right there.
Dragon Ball. We're both repping Japanese today. I love it.
Heck yeah, man! How about that? And you got the Great Wave too, which is very Japanese.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love this headband.
And then Michigan football. Maybe the most American thing that there is. Is a football team that just runs the ball and ran it 27 straight times against a team earlier this season. Maybe the least Japanese thing.
The stupid, you've seen it everywhere. It's like they'll show the graphic of the passing leaders this season and their yards, obviously. And then it'll show like 10 years ago how they each had like 5,000 yards. What happened to this league? the sport has evolved.
Yeah.
We're running more or less. So many rules benefit the defense now as compared to so many years ago. Or
Are you
they.
serious? Other way around, buddy.
I think
Can't do
a lot
anything
of
with the offense.
the quarterback you can't. But
Okay. You can't leverage off players now. Nothing like that. You can't jump over the O-line if you touch anyone. I don't know that I agree with that sentence. But anyways, keep going.
But anyway, I just hate what happened to this sport. Like, then don't watch. How about that? Then don't watch.
It's
What happened to
changed.
this?
You got to change with it, bro. It's
evolved.
not going to change with you.
It has evolved.
So, real rap.
All cap, no facts.
All cap, no facts. That's so good.
Well, I'm hoping that I ticked you off a little bit there, and I'm hoping you're about to tick me off with this hot take. Is it a hot
I'm
take or
not.
is it a headache?
I'm going to say it's a hot take. I'm not going to deviate from the format just yet, but I appreciate and really like the way that you deviated from it last week. I thought that was really good. I thought that is something we can definitely lean into more as we go along.
I think we've each had a couple. If we went back and listened to it, we've each had a couple headaches. Where it's
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, you're
I
just
thought
ranting.
the same thing.
Which is fine. That's the point. But
By the way, I guess I do have a curveball. I just thought of it, and I'm not going to reiterate this. It's an old hot take. How early is too early for Valentine's Day stuff, pal? Because guess what I saw in Walmart on December 26th this year?
Well, in my house, we celebrate Valentine's Day for a full week. And
That's crazy.
thus,
Are
it
you
is a big
insane
holiday
to do that?
No. If you
Can you
celebrate,
imagine?
if Valentine's Day is a big holiday to you and your spouse, you're either a crappy spouse. You just are. It's either you're not showing your spouse enough love throughout the year that they have to look forward to Valentine's Day in hopes that for one day
give them
you'll show
attention.
them some kind of appreciation.
Yeah.
Or you suck and you know it, and you're like, "This is my chance to
Gotta
make
make up
it
for
I
it."
gotta give her the biggest thing of chocolates and deliver it to her work in front of everybody, so our friends can
In front
see."
of everyone, so they know how good of a husband I am. I see right through that, men. Mm-hmm. For what it's worth, I will say, I don't want to throw under the bus the occasional person. I saw someone in Chicago PD a few episodes back, Nadia, former addict turned secretary. She knew Platt's birthday. She told her happy birthday right after Platt chewed her out and made her feel bad. Good stuff. But long story short, they were like, "Why'd you even know my birthday?" And she was like, "I like holidays." And I don't want to throw those people under the bus. But everyone that you just mentioned, under the bus you go.
So what people are you not throwing under the bus?
People who are like, "I just really love holidays."
Oh yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. But if Valentine's Day is a big day, it's because you suck as a spouse.
If it's one of your, I don't want to say biggest, like top 3 or 4 days. If you actively are looking forward to Valentine's Day and planning for it like right now, you're probably a sicko.
Probably. Now,
Coming from a sicko.
I'm not saying don't celebrate Valentine's. I'm not saying if you celebrate Valentine's Day, that's because you're about to.
No.
Take
Not
the
at
day
all.
for what it is
Not at all.
and do a little extra for your spouse, whatever. That's fine. But I think I summarized it pretty well. If your spouse is really looking forward to Valentine's Day, it's because you don't show them enough attention throughout the year. And if you're like, thank God Valentine's Day is coming up, it's because you suck and you really need something to save you.
I just think it's interesting that there are people who subscribe to the idea, like, okay, because everyone else says so, if my spouse doesn't do something for me on this specific day, they don't love me.
It's so stupid.
Hey, if you don't do something for your mother on Mother's Day, you don't like your mother.
Share in
That's
5
you.
seconds or your mom dies. It's the biggest
Same
biggest
energy.
the biggest showing to me that you're an idiot. I can't stand it. Send
Wait,
to 5
what is?
people or she'll be in
Those
your
ones.
shower tonight. And it's like the creepy girl that's going to stab you in the shower. Oh, I'm not taking any chances. I'm not taking any chances with you ever. I'm not trusting you to hold a dollar.
Oh, God,
You
not
suck.
taking any
You're
chances.
terrible. Oh my God, I'm not taking chances. It's also the same thing. You can only retweet this on this day. No.
You go out of your way to retweet stuff on the wrong day all the time.
I can and will retweet it tomorrow just to be like, just shut up. It's just so stupid.
You're a sicko too, man. Just so you know. You're a sicko too.
Yeah, that's fun.
But, yeah. So, for what it's worth, I don't go out of my way to do anything for, I call them made-up holidays. which is to say, like, technically Thanksgiving would be one too, but it has more of a basis than the other ones. Which is to say, though, people were just like, this is the day, and you celebrate these people on this day, or you don't love them.
Yeah.
And, like, you might think that sounds really stupid, or like I'm really dumbing it down. It really does come down to that. You don't celebrate Father's Day, you don't love your father.
No, it is.
Who? Imagine thinking like that.
It's so stupid.
So
There are a good, counting Valentine's Day, if you boil it down, there are a good 3 or 4 holidays throughout the year. It's just like
made up holidays.
Yeah.
You will catch me celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving. That is about it.
How about Arbor Day? Arbor Day's a good one. I like Arbor Day.
Made up holiday regardless. Hey, guess what though? Arbor Day is just as made up as Father's Day and Mother's Day.
Oh, for sure.
So that's how I view it
Groundhog
in my
Day.
head.
If you like, there are people out there. Oh, the groundhog. We got a long winter coming.
It's the same people who think that the way that Jupiter was aligned when you were born dictates your entire personality for the rest of
We
your life.
talked about this. We talked about this week, and you made a great point. You made a great point that honestly I never heard of until you looked it up. But I sent you a TikTok. I sent you a TikTok that was like astrology people be like, and he was like, it got progressively worse. Like I think the last one I sent in that list, it was like, as a Libra, I love drinking water.
Yeah.
And I sent that to you and said, as a Libra, he's got me pegged. That's so me.
Are you a Libra?
I am a Libra. And you went on to ask something about you said
I'm
were
very
so
passionate
concrete,
about how stupid astrology is. It's one of the few things that I'm like, I have no problem if you want to read your horoscope and have fun with it. If you're doing it in the same vein as reading a fortune cookie and having fun with it.
Right.
That fortune cookie has nothing to do with anything you say.
right?
But there's been like a renaissance in the past 5 or 6 years of people our age being like, it's so real. Like, it's just so, you just wouldn't get it because I'm up rising. Like, what does that even mean, first of all? You're a psycho. If you think that has anything to do with your personality, lay off the copium.
There's that video of that girl. She's like, oh, like, my astrology's or Saturn's really beat me down today, and it cuts the Saturn in the universe. It's like, bro, who the are you? Like, Saturn doesn't know who you are. Saturn doesn't care. And
why would Saturn dictate your personality?
What you said was great. You said if this were so concrete, wouldn't every person born between October 1st and November 12th be the exact same personality?
I went even more specific because I've unfortunately learned over the past few years that, oh, no, your main zodiac sign, like you said, you're a Libra. I'm a Capricorn, right?
Capricorn.
Well, there's so much more than that. There's like this rising, and I don't know what that means. I don't care to know what that means. I'm not going any further than that. Basically, it's like 5 or 6 things.
I know it's
which
right.
led us to, I took it though as like, okay, well that's determined by the exact day you were born, meaning like day, year, everything. Because obviously like planets, they don't move like in succession with each other. They're not all aligned, constantly moving around the same circle at the same speed, right? Yes. So it's like, well, Saturn was over there when you were born. Saturn was over there when you were born, even though you have the same birthday a year apart. So that's why you're different. But then go on, because I do think I made a very good point after like 10 seconds of research.
You said, what about twins?
Twins are different all the time.
But apparently, if you Google it, according to these people,
apparently
the fact that Saturn moved in those 5 minutes, that with a child A was born and child B, that's enough. That is enough cosmic shift.
It's just not enough. It's apparently more impactful than your main zodiac sign, the one that everybody knows. Yeah, you know that zodiac sign that if you're listening right now, you know what you are? Apparently, it is the least impactful of the things.
What you need to do is look up
who cares?
You need to look up the alignment of the stars at the exact moment you were born.
The second!
And that is the biggest factor in your personality.
And we've done research on every single possible star planet pattern ever in the history of the universe to tell you exactly who you are so that you can finally stop asking.
There are so many things that I just can't imagine you being so boring as a person that you have to latch onto blank to have some personality. Astrology has to be one of the dumbest ones. I cannot imagine being so boring being so I don't know what else to describe you. That you have to act like the stars determine your personality for that day.
There's something up with that.
Yeah, there's something not right.
Again, I'm gonna double down. If you're just being playful with it, oh, it's interesting. Hey, our favorite band, Queen, their logo is their zodiac signs, right? That's cool. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I've seen people who won't date somebody based off their zodiac sign because we won't be compatible. 5 seconds of research says that actually that's the least impactful thing.
So which is it?
I don't know. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid, dude. This isn't even your hot take. This is like a prelude.
This is not my hot take. No, because we got on the topic of Valentine's Day. And how the frick did we get to this?
You did it. I don't know.
Who knows? Who cares? How about that? But I do have hot take of the week this week. You want me to roll right into it?
What is it? What is that?
I think it's a hot take. I don't think it's a headache. It's not spicy, but it's just something I would like for anyone out there to consider. It's a little nerdy. Are you ready?
I love it.
Here's my hot take. I think it's about time we, as a community, being people who play video games, which would include you, Hearn, start to ask the question legitimately. Is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe maybe the greatest Nintendo game of all time? And on the surface, I understand that sounds so egregious it's not funny. How could you say that over Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Galaxy? Hear me out. Well, first of all, it has sold more than any of those games. It is the second best-selling Nintendo game of all time. Do you know what the best-selling Nintendo game of all time is? Wii Sports, because of a thing that some YouTubers like to call pack-in syndrome. It gets its stats padded by the fact that the Wii...
It came.
Precisely. Right with it.
Uh-huh.
The Wii is the best-selling Nintendo console of all time, at least as of the last time I checked. The Switch might have eventually passed it. It's on pace to, and it will eventually pass it for what it's worth. It'll be the best-selling Nintendo console of all time. But the Switch doesn't come with any games, so that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. The second best-selling Nintendo game of all time is Mario Kart 8. Now, they are counting the Wii U sales of the original game and the Deluxe for the Switch, which is that plus the DLC. I have no problems with that. So, that being said, that's probably a shocker if you've never sat and thought about it. Mario Kart? What? Guess what, pal? Mario Kart has outperformed every mainline Mario game dating back to the GameCube on every single console. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, some of the best and most critically acclaimed games with Mario's face on it of all time, did not sell as well as the Mario Kart game on that console. Super Mario Sunshine. You're a big proponent of that game. You love that game, right? I finally played it, loved it, great game. Double Dash outsold it. Every single console that has a Mario Kart game, it's the best-selling Nintendo game of that console for the most part. If nothing else, it outsells every other Mario game. Sometimes Pokemon games will sneak in there, like Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, Yellow. All the same game, but different versions of it are the third best-selling Nintendo game of all time. So they sneak in there sometimes. But at one point, like a year or two, I believe it was close to 2 years, so I'm going to say 2 years, into the Nintendo Switch's life cycle, 70% of Nintendo Switch owners owned Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 7 out of every 10 owned the same game. You can't say that about any other game for any other console. What are you playing? Baldur's Gate. What are you playing? The new Fallout. Okay, what are you playing? Apex Legends. No one can say oh, I have this game. Yeah, I played it. That common. Even for the big games, even the Call of Duties, even the Maddens. None of that. And on top of that, they just did the Booster Course Pass. They already had a whole wave of DLC. They've tripled the amount of tracks in the game. It has gotten support unlike any other Nintendo game ever has before. And I'm not saying definitively, I think it's the greatest Nintendo game of all time. Because there's different measures you can go about it. I'm just saying, if you're listening, you've probably never considered Mario Kart 8 might be the best Nintendo game of all time. I'm requesting that you do. Come on in, buddy.
Where are you saying it does rank for you on the list of best? Because as we discussed before,
Yes.
The most selling cereal is not the best cereal.
Correct. And something I'm a major proponent of,
So big.
is to separate what's my favorite and what's the best. Pokemon Fire Red, favorite game of all time. Is it the best game of all time? Obviously not. Cincinnati Bengals this year were my favorite football team. Duh, right? Are they the best football team this year? We're not in the playoffs. I don't think so, right? Just because it's your favorite doesn't mean it's the best or the greatest, right?
Right.
So, I don't know. Just like you don't think Godzilla is the best movie series of all time, but it's your favorite, I would imagine, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it kind of depends on the criteria. What do you want me to say about... I think I can make an argument for it being the best. Yes, I do think I could. It might be the best in my head. Everyone that plays it and likes video games tends to love that game. It's replayable. It has some depth, but not to the point that it's unapproachable on a competitive scale. And I appreciate that there is a skill element to it, but you can beat anyone at any given time if you're willing to pick up basic drifting, when to use your items, play the tracks 2 or 3 times to know where to go. You can beat anybody. You really can. It's a great game.
One of my biggest things with video games, Mario Kart is one of them. A random one is Call of Duty Zombies is another one. I liked it so much better whenever it was older and simpler. Mario Kart Wii, where there was bikes and characters that were the best. You could drift better with this or whatever. But now, honestly, I have played Mario Kart 8 maybe 3 times, which is a shocker.
You own it?
No. That's what I'm saying. I need to get it, honestly, because I do love Mario Kart.
It's so good.
But from my knowledge, there are... Forget the character, because obviously the character determines like weight a little bit.
Yeah.
Just your cart. Just your cart, body, wheels, glider. Aren't there like literally hundreds of combinations of carts you can make?
There are. But YouTubers with very high ELO scores, if you're listening and don't know what an ELO score is, it's basically a number to tell you how good you are. The higher it is, the better you are. Mario Kart YouTubers with high ELO scores have determined these are the worst builds in the game. This character with this cart and these wheels. The worst. They will take those builds. They'll go online against other competitive players running the best builds and win. So it's like, you're like, oh, it's overwhelming. You realistically can basically just go off of look. I will do some things like, I like these one wheels, which apparently are considered to be bad, but I use them all the time. They're called the monster wheels. They elevate you a lot, right? I feel like you turn really nicely with them, nice and wide. I'll go with those just because of the way I like the turning, right? If I wanted to be like, I like the way these wheels look, I could use those wheels and be just fine. So the customization aspect of it, yes, it does impact the racing. But unless you're actively going out of the way to make yourself have a bad time, you're not going to be like, this is the build I want to use, and it sucks. Like you can in a lot of other games. Like, I love Dr. Mario in Super Smash Bros. I love playing Dr. Mario, right? He plays more like the old Mario did on the original one. Things like that, right? He has the little capsules instead of fire. But whatever. Long story short, he's god-awful. He cannot compete if you're playing against anybody who knows really anything about the game. Right? And so I find that annoying. That frustrates me. And Mario Kart 8 does not have that. So.
Okay. That's like...
Yeah, keep going.
my point with Call of Duty Zombies. Black Ops Zombies, I don't know when's the last Zombies you played. Black Ops Zombies, you get on there, you had your Perca-Colas.
Zombies fan.
You had your Perca-Colas.
Perca-Cola.
You had the different maps or whatever, that's it. But then, like, they started in putting time travel and time dilation and all this stuff into the thing, and I couldn't keep up with it.
Because you gotta add more and more and more.
So
every single year.
From what I have played so far, I would say I have enjoyed Mario Kart Wii more than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But that's also because I'm a stickler. I don't like the whole microtransaction thing. So tell me, if I were to buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and all the DLC, I'm looking at well over $100 at this point, correct?
Not even close.
The game's got to be $60.
It's $60. The one for the Switch comes with all the DLC from the Wii U. And then 4 or 5 years after the game was out, were like, people want more tracks. We should give them more tracks. So
I assumed it was $10 an expansion. I know there's been at least 4 expansions.
Yes, on the originally though, but on the Switch again, you get all those just for the 60. So, yeah, but they
So
had 6 waves of DLC. You just pay to get the one. I think it's $20.
So $80 we're looking at.
$80 for almost every track in the series. It's very
How much for every track in the series? How much for every track? If I want every track, I want every character, I want every whatever. It's got to be over $100. It has to be.
No, $80, bro. I told you.
You just said $80.
I'm saying almost every track in the series. I said there's some tracks from old games that didn't make it into this game.
Okay, I didn't know
saying.
what you meant by that. Okay.
Yeah. $20 for the DLC. If you get the
Are you
Switch
willing-
game and pay $20, that's it. And if
Are
you
you
pay
willing-
for Nintendo Switch Online, I get it for free. I didn't pay for the DLC. I had the DLC for free because I'm already a Switch Online member. Am I willing to what though?
How much you willing to bet? Are you willing to bet money that it is $80 for a full Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Okay.
I just need to know how much it.
You're
yeah.
close. You're,
What is it?
You're close enough that I'm just gonna say you're right. It's apparently $25
Okay.
for all
Instead of
the
20.
for all the waves. So it's saying $85
Right.
would be.
And that's not including the
cost.
fact that you got the DLC from the Wii U in the first place. You got that for free just by buying it for the Switch instead of the Wii U, which nobody
Yeah.
owned. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Long story short, from my point of view, I'm definitely, because of how little I've played it, I'm not going to say it's the best game of all time. I'm not going to say it's the best Nintendo game of all time. No way. But it is. I think one of the reasons Mario Kart sells so well is if you don't want. Everybody likes everything different, right? I love Super Mario Galaxy. Either one.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously a more story-driven game. There's action, there's whatever, but it's more story-driven. Kart, who cares about the story? There is no story. There is no story mode in Mario Kart. You get on there and you play the game. So I understand. I can 100%
Play
believe.
Rocket League.
Yeah, I can 100% believe that Mario Kart outsells the other Mario games for that regard. It's one of the best party games, I think.
Right.
If you don't like Mario Kart at all, then I think you kind of suck.
Something's wrong with you.
It's fun
If you don't
Yeah.
like Mario Kart, something is wrong with you.
So it does. On one hand, it definitely doesn't surprise me that it's apparently outsold every other like mainstream Mario game of that generation. But again, you'd be hard pressed to get me to believe that it's one of the best Nintendo games of all time. I definitely
is,
would try
bro.
more. But
It is. I'm telling
you're saying
you,
it's
is.
top 3. It's top 3 Nintendo games of all time for you.
Best? It's not my top 3 favorites, no. But if I'm speaking critically, I'm
where does it
having a
rank?
hard time thinking of 3 that I put over it. Like, it's the definitive Mario Kart game.
Okay.
I just talked about how Mario Kart has become, basically, to most people, the definitive Mario series is Mario Kart. You'd be like, how can you say that over the main games? Look at the sales for 20 plus years. More people want to play Mario Kart than they do regular Mario.
So if I
And
said
so,
right now,
to more people than not, Mario Kart is their Mario series.
if I said right now for the rest of your life you could only pick 4 Nintendo games to play for the rest of your life.
It's on
Obviously,
there,
you
100%. It is, yeah.
You just said it
It's
wasn't
on the
top
list.
3, but now it's top 4. So it's 4.
What?
Is it
I
4?
said I have a hard time thinking of 3 games I'd put over it, which would imply that it is top 3.
So give me your top 3 then. Give me your top 3. You can
Best
only play
Nintendo
3
games of all time?
Not necessarily the best. You
Okay.
can only play 3 Nintendo games for the rest of your life.
God,
You're picking
bro.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as one of them?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The hot take here is I'm going to have to leave off a series or 2. You can't represent every series. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I mean, my wife and I play that all the time. Kat and I do. Pokemon Fire Red, again, it's my favorite video game of all time. I think it is the definitive ground level Pokemon experience. So I'm saying Pokemon Fire Red. Mm-hmm. And then I'd probably say Mario 64. I wouldn't even say a side scroller.
No way.
I'm definitely not saying World. You know my thought on World. Leave World out of this, bro. I'm not playing World. Screw World.
You didn't even say 3 though.
Yeah, three probably 4th. And then
That's insane.
a Zelda game would be 5th.
We have both said that that's
Told you I
like
had to leave
some
some
of our
series off, bro.
that's some of our first childhood memories is 3 in World.
Yeah.
And you're not even taking it.
3 would probably be 4th. The replayability factor, bro. Mario Kart's so much more replayable than the same Pokemon game and the same Mario game. It is way more replayable. You gotta think about
I
that
get that's
way.
a
If you're talking
I
about for the
get
rest of
that-
your life. I'm like,
I
I'm
get that
definitely
that's a
taking
factor,
Mario
but
Kart.
you're getting 3 of these. And so then I would think for me the nostalgia factor would definitely play more of a role than the replayability factor.
When's the last time you played Super Mario World all the way through?
All the way through.
Or like sat down with the goal of playing it all the way through, I should say. Sorry. You know what I mean?
I don't see what. A better question would be, when's the last time you played Super Mario World? In which case I'm going to say like a month ago.
Okay.
You
play
I
it
don't think it's
monthly?
fair. Occasionally, because I have the thing on the Switch where it has all the
So
old
easy.
games on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I love that soundtrack. Of course, it's a Mario game. It's a Nintendo game. It's got a great soundtrack.
It's good.
Screw World, you said. I can't believe that. That's insane. See, this is what
It's so overrated
you
because
have to be-
people have just taken it and butchered it, and people think like it's the best, blah 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 blah. Like it's the best Mario game because that's what every Kaizo ROM hack is.
right. It's a staple.
Pisses me off.
It is
stupid.
it's
not better than
perhaps
3, bro. It's not.
it is I'm not saying it is, but you're saying it sucks. That's the difference here.
I don't think it sucks.
That's why we're having this dialogue.
I
You
think
just said
the
screw it.
Its
You just said
reputation
screw
sucks.
it.
Its reputation sucks. Yeah, I'm irked by it. It is Taylor Swift to the Mario franchise. Which is to say, like,
What?
Taylor Swift is fine.
What?
She's so harmless. I don't think she's a bad singer, but like everyone thinks she's the best singer ever. She's
I
so much
disagree.
better than every other singer. She's so much better than every other songwriter. This is the only singer and songwriter I need in my life. That's how people are with Super Mario World. In
I
terms
have
of the
never-
Mario franchise. I hate that.
I have never
Hate
seen
it.
this hostility in the Mario community that you're talking about. I have seen. I would agree. Like, I'm not saying I'm original by saying World's my favorite. I know that's probably the
Yeah.
majority opinion. But I have never seen. I've never heard anybody say "screw 3." I don't need 3. Give me World, brother.
I have. I've seen. I say this like, oh wow, it's the whole people. I know what you're gonna say. Just let me do this. 2 different videos of people talking about 3 versus World. I know. 2 whole videos. Wow. Come on, bro. Of people with big platforms talking like this, acting like I can't believe anyone would ever think 3's better than World. That's almost a direct quote from a video I saw a few years back.
I think. But what?
It is. It's
I
better
just-
than World.
Okay, that's fine. I think World's better, but I'm not. But the difference is, you are literally saying "screw 3." It's the Taylor Swift of the Mario franchise.
World is, I said.
Screw World. Yes. 3%. I can't.
Yeah, it gets way more
that's-
love than it should. On a very base level, just because it gets way more love than I think it should. Yes.
You can't. One of these is an overreaction. Either you don't hate World this much.
I
you
don't hate it
think
at all.
Either you don't
I
think
liked
that
it.
much of it, or
If someone said, gun to your head, I'm killing you if you don't agree to not play Mario again ever, unless it's Super Mario World. I'm like, that's fine. I won't die over this. I'm not going to die on this hill.
I'm not gonna die over a video.
It's not
game
a
either.
bad game. I just think extreme measures are leading to extreme measures. Everyone acts like it's God. It's the God of the Mario series. It's not even better than the one before it.
Why do you think 3 is better? Why?
I think graphically they had mastered it. I think even though World is on a 16-bit console, 3 looks better. Okay?
Okay.
I won't disagree that World is a little smoother with the movement. People compared it to driving a Ferrari versus a Ford. That's fair. But a Ferrari, very finicky with the left to right. Like, oh, you're going to... Like, that thing's going to go where you tell it to go.
That's Sunshine. Sunshine's finicky.
Sunshine's that way, too. I don't disagree.
Sunshine is the most infuriating Mario game.
They redid the model and made it to where, like, your main jump button in the 3 games prior is now spin jump. They don't clarify the purpose of spin jump. And by the way, you can spin jump off of almost everything under the sun to not get hurt by it. Oh, you can't jump on that enemy? Spin jump on him instead. You just jump right off him.
It opens up a whole new world of platforming.
Watch
a whole new
Kaizo.
world.
People will spin jump off of saws, right? What's the point of saw if I can just jump off of it? It's dumb.
Kaizo is a con
And-
against Mario World? No, it's not.
Kaizo is the con against Mario World, honestly, in my opinion. Yes. Yes. There's nothing worse than, whoa, this person took a Mario game and like made new levels and new stuff. Wow, how cool. You don't even have to guess what game they did it for. It's always Super Mario World.
Because
always.
the move set of World is of that generation the best. They
have
both had
more
great
options.
power-ups. They both had great power-ups. So many original power-ups in both World and 3. But World
World got rid of some. It has the cape instead of the super leaf.
cape. You got the P balloon. You got Yoshi.
P-Balloon is in like 3 levels and handles terribly in the original game. It handles really well in Mario Maker. Go back and play with the P-Balloon. It sucks in World. We're getting way off topic, and we have a whole thing to get through, by the way.
But this is good. And this is...
Isn't it?
The reason... I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to lock in my reason of why World is used for Kaizo. It must be easy to hack.
Because you can throw things up,
sets.
which makes it easier to do multiple shell jumps. Mm-hmm. Something that a regular person that could have played every Mario game ever doesn't know what it is, by the way. You have to be slightly a no-life to know what a shell jump is. Mm-hmm. Because of the spin jump, you can spin jump off of everything. The one big kicker that I won't fight you over is Yoshi. Yoshi is a great addition to it. Yoshi is great.
Okay.
That I won't fight you on. That's another reason they have Kaizo for that as well. Mm-hmm. But I think the base game, the vanilla game, is not better than 3. It's not.
All you've said is that they look and handle a little differently, which is
I
obvious.
prefer the way one looks and handles better. We talk about the music. Music matters for you. You talk about the music. One of my hot takes is that 16-bit music is worse than 8-bit music. 8-bit music sounds better than 16-bit music. Then you go up to 64, and at that point, it just sounds like whatever you want it to. Mm-hmm. 8-bit music sounds better than 16-bit. The music in 3 sounds way better than the music in World.
That might be oh, God.
It's like all steel drums, bro. Get me out of here.
What? Dude,
that's just how it seems.
The Yoshi bongos alone.
That's a cool feature. Every time you're on Yoshi, they have bongos behind it. Congrats.
They remade every single theme to have Yoshi
to pick up
and
right
every
when you
single
get on,
one slaps.
right where it was. Yeah.
Every single one slaps with Yoshi on it. There's not a Yoshi theme that's bad. There's not.
I didn't say that they're bad. They're not as good as 3. That's all. But the extreme reactions by people being like, this is the only Mario game we should invest any time to. 3 is pointless. I win your world.
Who is saying that, though?
The entire community of people like you and me who are this knowledgeable
you are
about
so mad
Mario.
At 2 people. You are so mad at 2 people that you are telling me who has nothing against 3. I have nothing against 3. I love 3.
I love watching people play Mario games. Anytime they're like, someone made a new fan-made side-scrolling game. Wow, how cool. It is always World.
And that's a con against World?
Yes!
I get it. I don't understand.
Because even just vanilla World versus vanilla 3, give me 3.
So you're saying that if the argument were switched and every ROM hack was 3, I could say 3's not as good because every ROM hack is 3, and you would accept that as an answer? It's not a con. It doesn't mean anything. It's the truth. That is the truth.
Per se, probably not. Because people abuse the flaws within World. Like, do you realize the horizontal ground you can cover with a normal base jump in World compared to a normal Mario game? You can just fly. Yeah. The hitboxes are really wonky.
Yeah.
More so than they were on 3 or 2. I'll give it 1. The hitboxes were really bad in 1. I don't think the Bowser fight's that good. I think a lot of the big things, the 2 big mechanic changes.
It's
not as good as 3. It's not as good as 3.
No way. The Bowser fight in 3 is one of the most boring. I just gotta move over here. Oh, he jumps here, and I gotta move over here. Oh, okay, he jumped here. It intensifies none. It never gets more intense. It is from the get-go, that's what you gotta do. And you do it for 7 straight minutes. That's what you gotta do. Okay, go over here.
7 straight minutes?
Don't go over here.
Give me a break, bro. It takes like 30, 40
seconds. That's what it is. It's not a phased battle. You have like to use every other boss
in the Bowser fight that you never have to use otherwise. Like throwing stuff upwards. Oh, wow, cool. You don't do it through the whole freaking game. You don't need to ever.
You have to hit boxes sometimes or whatever.
When?
There are times where throwing... I'm not saying... maybe you don't.
It's one of the whole reasons that Super Mario World is the main side-scroller game that I have to be forced to see all the time because I like watching Mario YouTubers. Is because you can throw stuff up and you can spin jump off grab. Woohoo!
You don't have to throw stuff up to beat Bowser. You don't have to. You could jump up and throw it to the side whenever he's coming down. You don't have to.
Can you eventually? Okay. Well, the strat is to throw stuff up at him.
I cannot believe you're saying a boss fight where it is the same intensity, the same pattern the entire time is better than a boss fight with phases. How? Okay. How is that possible?
In a vacuum, that's probably not a fair statement. But because I prefer the graphics, the sound, the overall style, I feel like I'd rather have this one than that one. I won't argue with you. I won't die on the hill of the boss fight. But think of it this way. Mario Maker. You played it. You enjoyed it. Yes? I played it. I kind of hated it. But I played it for over 1,000 hours. So I couldn't hate it that much.
Yeah.
What?
I made you some levels, yeah.
You did. Icy hot coffee pot. Still waiting for 2.
That's an icy hot. I can't beat 2. I can't beat my own level.
Which means you can't post it. Which means I can't
Right.
play it.
Right.
There are so many more Super Mario World levels in Mario Maker than there are 3.
None of
because
these-
you can
I
throw
don't
stuff up and you can
understand.
speed jump. Woohoo!
How that's a con? How is that a con?
Because it's annoying. Mario side scrollers are not about throwing stuff up and spin jumping all the time. They're not, and they never have
then-
been. There's a reason that Super Mario Wonder in 2022 is the second game ever, including World, to include throwing stuff upwards. Yet if you watch a Kaizo ROM hack of Super Mario World, throw up, over here, throw up, over here, throw it upwards. Dude, the average person doesn't even know you can do that.
I
It's
don't
annoying.
understand.
It's a nuisance of a game.
Why
Sorry.
a Kaizo is... What does Kaizo have to do with this at all?
It's
You-
annoying.
you-
It's just
you-
like the
you
fan
have
base of the
stated-
Kansas City Chiefs is why I don't like the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's
I
not the
like
same.
Mahomes, I like Kelsey, but their fans are so freaking annoying. I don't like them. That's what I mean when I say it's the Taylor Swift of Mario games.
You have said that you think even vanilla 3 is better than World. That's fine.
Objectively, it can't be objective. It's very subjective.
If
If I
that's
had
your
to say objectively, I'd say 3.
if that's your belief, that's fine. But then, I don't think we can't even mention ROM hacks because we're talking about Vanilla 3 versus Vanilla World.
Okay.
So if you hate the number of world levels you see when you're playing Mario Maker, go on Mario Maker and filter by 3 and play 3. I don't understand these cons. I just don't. And that's at the end of the day, if you think 3 is better, that's fine. I think World is better. Whatever.
Okay.
But you are so fired up. Oh, screw World. Screw it. I can't imagine being that fired up over a
I am,
beloved
bro.
childhood game.
Because I think 3 is still the best side scroller they've ever made. And it's 25, 35 years old, something like that. 30 years old, whatever.
You have said, okay, oh, God. I don't
Not many better
understand.
side-scrollers
I
than
don't
3.
understand. You said the graphics are different, which they are. The graphics and the movement
I
are
said
different.
the graphics are... I prefer the graphics on the older one.
You said that the music you think is better than World.
Yeah.
And you at first said that the Bowser fight was better. Are those... I ask you to present me 3 points as to why 3 is better than World. Are those your 3 you're submitting? Do you want to sub the Bowser fight for another one?
I'd go with aesthetic at that point. Yeah. Give me the aesthetic of the overworld map in 3 versus the one in World, personally speaking. Give me the way the enemies look in 3 versus the way they look in World. Because again, on 3, Nintendo quite literally saw it as a love letter to the NES. Right? Because they had mastered that thing. And 3 pushed it to its limits. Right? If you look at the top right of the screen, you'll see little squares popping up every now and then. It's because it's they were doing something that had never been done. That the NES wasn't even intended to do. With levels moving up and sideways. Right? Mm-hmm. They had mastered it. The enemies look so good. The Mario and Luigi sprites look so good. And then in World, honestly, if I held them all up in a lineup from Super Mario Bros. 1 to Super Mario Bros. Wonder, World looks the weirdest.
It's the most
weirdest.
It's one of the most unique. I don't think weird is the word. I think it's unique.
Okay.
I think Nintendo is great for that. I think that's half the reason Nintendo has stayed so relevant. They're Wii. When the Wii came out, holy crap! I remember seeing commercials for the Wii.
Not look out of place per se.
The Nintendo 64 controller.
It's a bad controller.
was-
It's a terrible controller.
It was
You like
unique. It was unique
and bad.
and bad. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So,
a bad
but-
controller.
That-
Isn't that helping
very
your
weird.
point?
Yeah. Wait. I think I made a counterpoint there.
Okay.
But you can be unique and not look bad. You can be.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think in Wonder they look unique, especially for the 3D era, and I definitely think they look really good.
What's your favorite 3D Mario game? Is it 64?
Favorite, definitely 64. Best, it's probably Galaxy 2. Why? What is the issue with that?
This is insane.
My favorite is 64, yes.
Why? How is
But
that
I
better than
acknowledge
either
like,
Galaxy?
Super Mario
Either
Galaxy 2 is better than 64. See,
Either
this is not
Galaxy.
like 3 versus World. I think 3 is better than World, and it's my favorite over World. Galaxy 1 and 2 are probably better games than 64.
They are.
Yeah, I have no problems with that. 64 is my favorite. See, I can admit this. Yeah, those are better games. That's fine. Yeah. I don't like them as much, but they're better. That's fine. See?
It's just-
I can do
it's-
this.
it's so-
and that's not what happens with World.
It's yes. That's what's insane. It's insane to hear you. Yeah. You know what? Galaxy is not my favorite, but it is one of the best. I like 64 though.
Uh-huh.
Rewind 30 seconds ago. Rewind 30 seconds ago. Screw World. Let's leave it on the curb. I don't
That
want
was
it.
20 minutes ago at this point, pal, but okay.
I'm just saying, like, you could. Oh God, I don't get it. I don't understand the passion that burns within you to call World the Taylor Swift of the Mario franchise. That hurts. That's insane.
I waited, not by my own will. I could not play World ever because I never owned a Super Nintendo, okay?
Okay.
Never had access to one either. We had an NES, we had a 64, GameCube, whatever. Somehow we never had a Super Nintendo in my house growing up. Never. And none of my relatives did either. So I never played World. I saw it. I knew it had Yoshi. I thought the cape looked super cool. Whatever. Playing through World was the most disappointed I've ever been in a side-scrolling Mario game ever. By far.
All
Sorry.
the secret exits. Was it the first game to do secret exits?
No, 3 has them. For the whistles.
Okay, that's true.
And also, 1 has them to get warp pipes.
The warp.
pipes are secret
Yeah,
exits.
if you want to count warp. Yeah,
Kind of
that is true.
different, but
It's a secret exit. I
2
would
has
say.
them too,
Yeah.
technically. 2 has them too. But they're very well hidden in
I always
2.
forget about 2. Yeah, I honestly forget about 2.
In Japan, it was Super Mario USA. It was not Super
Number
Mario Bros. 2
one.
in Japan. You know why, right?
No.
Okay. Interesting. Really?
No.
It's like, it's considered beating a dead horse if you watch Mario videos. Like, everyone knows this. Shut up about it. Super Mario 2 in Japan is the game that's known as Super Mario The Lost Levels in the US. Super Mario The Lost Levels, aka Super Mario 2 in Japan, is literally a clone of Super Mario 1 just with
Yes,
harder
it's
levels.
hella hard.
It's just,
Yes.
it's an expansion pack is all it is.
Yeah. It's the first DLC.
Yeah. But in there, they're like, that's 2. That's 2 to us. It was considered so hard that US players wouldn't like it. And honestly, it is very hard. It's so freaking hard. I probably game overed 15 or so times beating it. It's insanely hard.
I thought,
But-
is that what you meant when you earlier when you said so are 2, but they're well hidden in 2? Did you mean the Lost Levels, or did you
No,
mean like
I did
Super
not.
Mario Advance 2, whatever it's called?
I will only ever call them by the US names. So like when I'm
Okay.
talking about the Japanese Super Mario 2, I'm talking about Lost Levels.
Yes. Okay.
But they are very well hidden in 2. To get the warp pipes in 2, you have to use the potions at the specific correct points, throw them on the little like vases that act sort of as pipes, but only ever
bosses.
take you directly to the underground, right? You have to go in the door and then go down the pipe and hope you chose a correct pipe. And you only get the 1 potion every time you go into the level, right? If you don't know where they're at, good luck. I found 1 on my own accord. 1. Yeah.
I think. Oh God, this is just insane. This is just. I know this has taken over the episode at this point, but it's just insane
Yeah.
to me.
We'll just move what we had in store for next week because it's evergreen.
This is just insane. That. Oh my
The
God!
vitriol?
I have long said the credit song for Super Mario World. I want that played at my funeral. I think I've said that on.
Hold
here.
on. Which one is it? Is it ba-na-ba-ba-na-na-na-na? Okay. Yeah, that one's
I
good.
love it.
That's really good. That's a good.
I love it. It's got different
Da,
phases. It's got
na,
different
na,
phases in it.
Na 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 do 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 do. Yeah, it's good. They played at
right.
the end of 100 Man in Super Mario Maker, don't they?
I think so. They do at some point.
Yeah.
That's not to say 3 is not. I love 3.
I don't even hate the music in World. I don't hate World. I don't think it's a bad game.
I think
It
this
is just
a-
my least favorite Mario game. But if we're talking best, I don't know that it's better than many of them either. I'm talking side scrollers. It's better
think-
than like New Soup on the Wii. It's better than 1, which I love. I love 1. It's better than 2 as well. It's probably like 3rd or 4th best side scroller. But it's not better than 3. 3's number
What's
1.
3? If it's 3 or 4, what is 3? What are 3 better than besides 3?
3. 3 is one of them.
You're gonna say Wonder.
Wonder. And New Soup U. Specifically. Yep. Specifically the one on the Wii U. It's called New Super Mario Bros. U. Great game.